Ty Robinson is a 6'5", 290-pound defensive lineman from Nebraska who showcased impressive athleticism at the NFL Combine, earning a 9.89 RAS score. A former four-star recruit who developed into a second-team All-Big Ten performer in 2024 during his 6th year with the Cornhuskers. Robinson displays good movement skills and effectiveness on the line as a pass rusher. He's one of the guys that does need improvement as far as leverage sometimes, as well as hand usage. But his combination of size, athleticism, and production makes him an intriguing player that's coming to the league this year and has that dog mentality. Drafted by the Eagles, he has an opportunity to really stand out. Joining players like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis will absolutely bring the best out of him. It's all about continuing to build the trenches, and by bringing in a leader like Ty Robinson, that's exactly what the Eagles did. So let's break this player down and see what he can potentially bring to the Eagles defense. So on this play here, Ty Robinson showcases his effective pass rushing technique by executing a powerful club move against the offensive lineman. As the play develops, Robinson explosively fires off the line of scrimmage and perfectly times his club move, violently swiping the blocker away while maintaining his balance and momentum, getting to Shedeur Sanders and getting a nice sack. These are the things you want to see from a player in Ty Robinson. So activating the system. So locking on this play here, you see Ty Robinson, he's lined up right across that guard, going up against that center and giving him a nice club move. The thing is, when you're playing that defensive tackle position, footwork is extremely important on top of keeping good base. Stretching those long arms and getting home. Somebody call the police. Ty Robinson just caught a body. And as far as this player's arms, he doesn't have the longest reach, but he makes up for it with his aggressiveness and the ability to be able to gain leverage on certain plays. And we all know when you're going up against these NFC East teams, you got to make sure that defensive line is right. So having players like Jalen Carter, as well as Jordan Davis, it's going to absolutely bring the best out of him. But seeing him using that club move, getting into position to reach Shedeur Sanders was great to see. One thing about Ty Robinson, you can see on film that he has what it takes to absolutely disrupt a lot of these plays. The good thing about him is he has an explosive first step that allows him to penetrate the backfield quickly, slipping away from the center and forcing an incomplete pass. So we go ahead and split it. So zooming in on Ty Robinson, just watching him firing off the ball, being slippery and punching through with that left arm. The thing is, if you can be able to drop that weight, it's hard for a lot of these offensive linemen to be able to defend it. Slipping through and making a beeline straight to the quarterback. And it's so good to be able to see a player that is 290 pounds and has the ability to be able to slip away and stress out these offensive lines. And usually if you can be a guy that can be able to create pressure like this, it can force these quarterbacks to make mistakes, incomplete passes, and turnovers. And by watching him throughout his career, he has been a leader on and off the field. He's been at that school for a long time, but you can see in 2024 that he has been progressing, especially when it comes down to the pass rush department. Now, it's not going to be perfect with this player, Eagles family. No prospect is perfect. His length might be an issue going up against NFL offensive linemen, so we'll see how much this player wants it. And he is one of the older guys that's coming out this year who will play his rookie season at the age of 24. But the good thing is, maybe this player is mature and ready to go. But seeing him slip away from that center and generate pressure was great to see by Ty Robinson. Here's another rep where Ty Robinson disrupts the play by being physical and controlling his gap assignment. It's good to see him maintaining proper leverage on some of these plays, anchoring his position, and walling off the run to create congestion in the backfield, allowing the other defenders to get busy. So we go ahead and run it. So locking on this play here, just studying Ty Robinson, just seeing him just knife inside. The thing is, when you're playing that defensive tackle position, every second matters, finding a way to be able to disrupt these plays. But as you can see him making that quick movement, he was able to clog everything up, allowing the other defenders on the team to go out there and hunt. And this is what you want to see when it comes down to Ty Robinson. It's not always about going out there and making plays, but can you be a guy that can be able to clog up those lanes and allow the other players to make it happen? And he's one of the players that's projected to play that 4-eye position or the 3 technique at the next level. So it'll be interesting to see how he's going to do against that Eagles offensive line come training camp. But iron sharpens iron. You got to go out there and battle it out to get better. And with this player playing for 6 seasons for the Cornhuskers, he saved his best for last, setting career highs in tackles, sacks, and tackles for loss. And he also finished his career playing in 60 games, which was a record for Nebraska. So I'm sure this player will be ready to roll come training camp. Here's a rep where Ty Robinson shows excellent technique as a defensive tackle. He does a great job getting away from blockers and stopping the run. And what makes him effective is his patience. He uses his vision to find the right moment, slips past the blocker, and gets in position to make the tackle. And that's exactly what we see him do on this play here. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So running this play here, you see the offensive lineman. It looks like he's controlling Ty Robinson, but the good thing is he's keeping his hands inside and staying patient. Number 56 does peel off to the other defender, but Ty Robinson stays square and delivers a nice blow. And it's all about toughness when it comes down to that defensive line. He was the face on his defense, and that's what you want when you have a player that's coming to the next level. And being a guy that earned a 9.89 RAS score at the NFL Combine, that just shows that this player is a top-tier athlete for his size. Not the longest arms, but he can still find ways to be effective. But with proper coaching and the right culture, it's going to allow this guy to take that next step. But as far as shedding blockers and make those solid tackles, I saw a lot of that from him on film. He could sharpen up in that department as well. It won't be perfect, but I know with this player's skill set, if he can stay consistent, he definitely has what it takes to turn some heads in year one, because the film never lies, Eagles family. It's not always about where you was drafted. It's about dedication, work ethic, and locking in and getting this thing rolling, proving that true potential reveals itself on the field rather than the draft board. Another thing I like about Ty Robinson is how smooth he is right off the ball. You'll see good burst and footwork from him, efficiently navigating through traffic to reach the runner. His natural body control and spatial awareness allow him to maintain perfect balance while working his way into position. These type of plays will not only benefit him, but the entire defense. So we go ahead and run it. So locking on this play here, just watching Robinson, just stepping to the right and swiping with those hands. And just like we said on the first clip, every movement matters. Getting yourself into position and closing in and getting to Travion Henderson. And with Travion Henderson, he was one of the most explosive running backs coming out of this draft class. So with that kind of guy's ability, you have to find ways to get to this player quickly. But to see him lining up at that nose tackle position, you got him lined up in a 4-eye, it just shows that this player is extremely versatile. So you got to find ways to be able to scheme this player right so he can go out there and make big time plays. So seeing him going out there and being a smooth athlete, stressing out that left tackle, and closing in and stuffing the runner was fireworks. So on this final play here, you'll see him lining up against Jordan Seaton, who's going to be one of the better tackles in college soon and happens to be from my area. Robinson executes a bull rush, using his power to back up Seaton and get his hands on the quarterback. Though the quarterback still got the throw off, this kind of pressure can force offensive mistakes. Exactly what you want to see from a guy like Robinson, finding ways to generate pressure. So we go ahead and run it. So zooming in on Ty Robinson, you see he's playing on that edge. I mean, they're lining this player up everywhere, but just getting his hands inside and striking Seaton. You got to make sure that you strike these guys inside their pecs so you can be able to control these players. But you see that he's driving those legs. The left tackle was not able to get set, and he was able to get his hands on a quarterback again. And it's so good to be able to see this kind of play zoomed in. This is what we do when it comes down to the JC film sessions. Make sure you guys tap in with me, get me to 2,000 subscribers, and we will be dishing out Eagles content all year. Better quality than anything that you will see that's out there. But seeing Ty Robinson being aggressive, using those club moves, smooth footwork, as well as being a guy that can be able to bull rush, is how this player is going to be able to make a difference. But it's all about stacking these days together and getting this thing rolling. But this was another dominating rep by Robinson here. So it's going to be good to see how it all plays out with this defensive line. With Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, the list goes on what these Eagles can potentially do for this season. But bringing in a guy like Ty Robinson, he's going to have to go out there and be a sponge and continue to learn and get himself into position. He's an older player, but there's a lot of things that this guy can be able to do. But it's important for this guy to be able to get this thing rolling in mini camp as well as training camp so he could potentially see some burn on the field. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Ty Robinson and who else from the Philadelphia Eagles do y'all want me to break down just like this video. And I did get that Jahad Campbell video done, so make sure y'all see that one as well. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire updates and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, football family. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.